come to witness the adventures of Bulbogi the Battler now, have you? We join him now, ruminating on the events that led him into his current predicament. Having joined a Horde mercenary fleet for the exploration and conquest of a newly discovered island, Bulbogi instead found himself shipwrecked at the bottom of the sea, fending against the marauding creatures that had pulled the fleet under the water. After reuniting with the survivors of the attack, and being the recipient of a very handy underwater breathing spell, he discovers insidious forces gathering for a plot most foul. Soon, Bulbogi found himself on a mad journey through an ancient aquatic behemoth that had been infested with the evil creatures known as the Naga. With the help of a fellow survivor, a shaman of the Earthen Ring, they free the giant from the Naga's clutches. Now, the shipwrecked warriors of the Horde found themselves searching desperately for an escape to the surface. With resources dwindling, Bulbogi sets out in an attempt to find something, anything, to aid the survivors. Unbeknownst to him, an ancient shard he just happened to find in his exploring grants him visions of a past battle where the Naga themselves were under siege by a race of sea-dwelling giants. Alas, the vision does not offer Bulbogi any solution to his predicament, other than a glimpse of the vast threat that closes in with every passing moment. Having learned that some of the survivors have prepared a forward outpost on the fringes of the Naga's ruined city, he races to them to deliver a report of his findings and prepare for whatever may come next. The captain of the shipwrecked crew, needing more time to set whatever plan he had in motion, sets Bulbogi out into the ruins to disrupt the enemy forces, a task he takes to with deadly determination. In his ventures into the ruins, he stumbles upon the foe that Bulbogi was originally recruited to battle, the apparently stranded soldiers of the Alliance. With the camp secured for the moment, a brilliant and mad goblin amongst the crew convinces Bulbogi to aid him in a plan that could save the weary warriors by using the flora as a weapon against the scaly creatures. The brave and foolhardy warrior gathers the volatile kelp, caring not for the risk, as he knew that he and his compatriots were doomed if they did nothing. Having gathered an excess supply of the kelp, and with the enemy forces converging to attack, Bulbogi boldly saddles his seahorse and puts the plant's explosive energy to use against the survivors' foes. After reconvening with Captain Vilethorn, Bulbogi finds that the situation is as dire as ever, with wave upon wave crashing upon the valiant survivors, and hope once again ebbing against the relentless tide of foes. Agreeing that a tactical retreat is the only option, and after having his conversation interrupted, an act that Bulbogi does not tolerate in the slightest, the infuriated warrior sets out once again to glean more intelligence on their foes. Stepping into the memories of the past once more, he learns that a powerful relic was lost in the ruins, a crucible the Naga used to summon primordial ancient creatures to turn the tide of battle against the sea giants. The memory does not last long, and Bulbogi finds himself back in the present. Armed with the knowledge that he believes the Naga plan to use this crucible against the Horde warriors, and possibly the entire world, he races back to the ruined shelter to find the survivors have suffered another crushing defeat, losing the hard-fought ground they had gained. Bulbogi rides to the last bastion of the Horde fleet, the weight of failure heavy on his shoulders, to rendezvous with the demoralized and beaten soldiers. Meeting again with the goblin fiasco Sizzlegrin, whose sarcasm Bulbogi does not particularly appreciate, they concoct a scheme to salvage a survival kit from the fleet wreckage. The warrior faces off against the remnants of the old sea giant force and the peculiar water goblins to find an intact kit that allowed Bulbogi to rise to the surface and signal the intact fleet. Returning to the cave, Bulbogi gives the welcome news that escape for the scrappy fighters is close, and hope once again swells in their hearts. But the question as to what the Naga were up to still lingered, and Bulbogi knew there was still more to be done here in the depths of the ocean. For now, however, he decided that a well-deserved snack and nap were in order. For when he awakes, there would be little time for such comforts. Sleep well, Bulbogi. Battle awaits you on the morrow.